महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोद्घटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रवरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदै गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। So we are in chapter 14, in which Arjuna raised a question. Because Krishna said, if you want to know me, okay, you should go, use a word, you should go beyond gunas. Beyond gunas has to be understood, like we have seen, as to gunas will be there. Okay. It is something like Atma is reflected through this Sharira. So you have original consciousness called Bimba Atma. The reflection of the Bimba Atma is called Pratibimba Atma. Like you looking at yourself in the mirror. What you see in the mirror is not exactly, it's only a Pratibimba, a reflection. And willy-nilly, it will absorb the defects or otherwise of the mirror. So suppose you look at yourself in a convex mirror, what will you see? Suppose you look at yourself in a concave mirror, what will you see? So what you see is distorted by the reflecting surface. Suppose you want the distortions to go away, what do you do? Change the mirror. But can we not, another thing, can you not enjoy the distortions, knowing fully well that there is no distortion in the first place? You can even have a hearty laugh. You are this alone, mouth alone comes this big. You call your friends, say, look at me, because you know you are not. So you can look and even appreciate the defects. So when we say Triguna, Trin Gunan Atita. When you say go beyond the three gunas, the understanding has to be let gunas be there. I can enjoy the view. They don't bother me anyway. If what corrections are to be required, I will do. From a tamo guna, I may perhaps move to rajo guna. Rajo guna, I will move into sattva guna. But the gunas are not going to define me. That's the understanding. That is more. That is the meaning of going beyond the gunas. Going beyond the gunas. People say, eyes closed and looking up in the air. You will not go where, nowhere. Where is that? Going beyond gunas. We all have problems. All of us have problems. A friend said this morning, we are all imperfect beings, perfectly okay with all those imperfections. And we have a problem. Somebody has a bigger nose, somebody has a head full of hair, somebody has more hair. It doesn't define you. It doesn't define you. Just as you have learned to ignore certain things, just as you have learned to accommodate certain things, we have accommodated the gunas as well. And when you learn to accommodate the gunas and when you take them as they are, your mind is no longer preoccupied with guna and trying to fit yourself into guna. You are free. This free person has inner leisure. A lovely word, inner leisure. Inner leisure to look at your bimbam, not at the pratibimba. You have the inner leisure to look at the pratibimba and admire that. At the same time, enjoy the pratibimba as well. You see the sunrise, sunset. There is no sunset or sunrise here for a couple of days, all cloudy. You know there is no sunrise or sunset. Yet you travel miles to see the sun setting or miles to see the sun rising. The sun, the glowing orb disappears into the sea. You write poems on that. So, the knowledge of the reality need not negate what you see. You can only see the reality of it or the mithyatvam of it. At the same time, what you see need not be dismantled for you to understand the reality. Let the gunas be there. Let all these all these distortions be there. But that's only belongs to the pratibimba. Does not belong to the bimba. And as it does not belong to the bimba, it does not affect the bimba. And you are that bimba. That's what Krishna says. Arjun naturally asks a question. He asks the question, Arjuna Uvacha Kailingastrin Gunat Etan Atito Bhavati Prabho Kimachara Katham Chaitan Trin Gunanati Vartate. So how does one recognize? Okay. Oh Prabhu, Kai Lingaihi, by what characteristics? Etan Trin Gunan Atita Bhavati, one who has crossed over or one who has neutralized these gunas, how do I recognize? Okay. Kim Achara, what is his conduct? Katham Etan, how does he transit? How did he get over it? And how does his acharam? Do you remember we went back to chapter 2 when he said, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha Yeah, how does an intelligent man look like? Are his eyes glowing? No. Fellow is very intelligent. Hey, how do you know? How does an intelligent fellow look like? The same way he's asking this question. How does the person who has transcended the gunas look like? What are his characteristics? And how does he behave? Achara. And how did he overcome all this? How did he overcome? These are the questions Arjuna asked. And Krishna replies. What does he say? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadveshti sampravartani nanivrittani kankshati. Once more. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadveshti sampravartani nanivrittani kankshati. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Krishna says, O Pandava, O Arjuna, Arjuna is referred to as Pandava here, Prakasham cha, Pravrittim cha, Moham eva cha, okay, Sampravartani, they have come to, sorry. Now, this Bimba is reflected on this Pratibimba, reflected on this BMS. And this Pratibimba, how does this Pratibimba will be? There will be Prakash. There will be brightness indicating Sattva Guna. There will be periods of time when you have Sattva Guna Pradhana activity. Sattva Guna Pradhana Achara behavior. He could also have Pravartim. Pravarti means activity. Prakasha means, they say unactivity. It is not English, okay, my English. Unactivity, cheerfulness, certain radiance, restraint. We tell people, somebody said, there's a competition. Would you like to participate? So I said, no, I would like to stand aside and watch. Yeah, you suddenly find Sattva. In this, I would like to participate. Rajoguna. So Pravartim, that will also be there. Don't expect the Sattva Guna to be constantly radiant and smiling and things like that. You'll say, no, in this activity I would like to take part. Active part. And Mohamevacha Pandava, at some point of time, you can even see certain drop in standards. What standard? Dharma. Drop in standards. Our Swamiji once gave an example, a beautiful example. He was a brahmachari leading a number of students, young ones, to a camp somewhere outside the city. I didn't mention the city, outside the city. And there were about 50 children he was taking. And somebody was to book the tickets. So Swamiji reached that spot, station, boarding point, with all 60 people, and this fellow has no sign of this person. Finally, he arrives with the train about half an hour or less to leave. And he brings tickets saying 10 in this compartment, 20 in this compartment, 5 in this compartment, 4 in this compartment. Swamiji, you alone in that compartment. Swamiji says, the dam broke. I yelled at him. And I've never seen our Swamiji yell at him. And look at that fellow. At the end of it, he says, you are a brahmachari. You are not supposed to shout. You are supposed to manage. Now, on top of it, he gives a lecture to Swami. So, mohamevacha. Hey, when things are not going well, if you yell, It's not a fault with the bimba, it is a fault with the pratibimba. We don't even call it a fault. It's a feature. It's a feature. There was a person, giving a lecture on ahimsa. And as it said, ahimsa, paramo dharma. He smashes at a mosquito. I'm sorry. Have you not seen this happen? People talk about protection of strays. Strays should be protected. You should not kill them. You should see that they are safely taken care of. And there is a meeting held in a five-star hotel, and the menu is chicken 65. not quoting this as some standard. It happens. It's not a fault of the bimba. It is all happens in the prati. Even hypocrisy is a part of pratibimba. So rather than come to a conclusion that so and so is a hypocrite, we change the narrative to one has an inclination towards hypocrisy. What I have done, I have objectified hypocrisy as an issue which can be tackled. So and so is a hypocrite, is a character. He is inclined to hypocrisy, is an issue which can be tackled. This is called growing over. I don't brand, I don't judge, I am not prejudicial, I am objective. But yes, while speaking, I might sound at times. For example, I'm talking about somebody, some parents not doing their job like parents should do. Now, suppose I tell them, hey, what irresponsible parents. I don't conclude that this fellow has fallen from standards and he's become a hypocrite. It's an expression. My understanding is parents behaving so irresponsibly. I find it. And then don't brand that this person is like that, that prejudicial. Not prejudice. It is looking at a certain behavior and trying to say, oh, this is irresponsible. One is inclined to behave like this, and this sounds, it looks irresponsible. Acharam. I am objective towards that. I'm not judging the person, I'm objective towards that. So, prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva pandava na dveshti sampravartani. Okay? Now, there are certain situations which were pleasant. They've all gone away. Or they are going. Imagine people working in very high positions. In their lifetime, they have not paid their bills. They don't even know where the bills are to be paid. So many people are very high position. Electricity bill, you have to pay, is it? But the fellow has lifelong had free electricity, free mobile bills, free water supply, free fuel supply. Now, one fine morning, he realizes these bills are to be paid, and if you don't pay, these utilities will stop your supply. So, such a person, sometimes, very often it happens. And where I was and see what I have become. He doesn't have this tendency. Where I was and what I have become. This is not his inner narrative. Okay. Perhaps he may say so. Because he need not. Even if others say, he will smile and say, Chalta hai, hota hai. It happens. Now, otherwise, they highlight, there was a video this morning somewhere, some media they put. Suddenly, an elderly man comes and says, Hi, beta. This is Papa. How come so early in the morning? Because father lives separately. He has come to the son's house. He says, Papa, so early. How come? So, 1 minute, please. Yeah. This buzzing of the phone. This also happens. Okay. Yeah, sorry, yeah. I spilled some water, not on the laptop, but just below that. Okay, so the son says, Papa, this time, so early in the morning? So he says, no, I thought I was going for a walk and I just popped in. And he says, I'm busy now, I've got a meeting to attend, I'm preparing for that. Then he looks at the daughter, he says, Papa, without telling me you have come. Then he goes to the granddaughter's house, room, and grandpa says, hey, Grandpa, so nice. But right now, I'm busy on a call. Next time you come into the room, please knock, I want my privacy to be respected. And its grandson says, I'm busy in a video game. And they've highlighted this in such a way as though all others are at fault and this can never, aisa bhi hota hai. So suppose you are an objective person, na dveshti, and at one point of time this person was perhaps sought after. Now he is not being sought after. So what would have happened with such a person in such situations? The person can smile, dignify, and say, "Oh, that happens here." Don't blame them. Don't blame them. Life has changed. They are under their own pressures. You don't say children do not care anymore. The narrative changes. So, na dveshti sampravartani. There are some situations which have gone away. Na dveshti. Then, na nivrittani kankshati. Okay. And he not only, those have gone away and the situation is different now. He doesn't resent the change. And he doesn't long for the days that have gone, longing for good old days. Perhaps he has memories of good old days and he can talk it's fun talking about good old days. But there are some you talk only about good old days in all those gatherings and it's a bit of a bore. So talking about good old days, having memories of good old days are fine, but a longing. Nobody cares. Nobody writes letters these days. Everybody is on WhatsApp. There is no longing. You can perhaps find out there could be some changes. But one need not run a a critique on all this, saying that the world has changed, nobody bothers. That kind of dialogue is not there. This is an indication of a person who has understood the play of gunas in him. That doesn't mean he doesn't feel bad. When I don't get the kind of reception that I really look forward to, and I don't get that response, obviously I feel bad. I definitely feel bad. But I'm not going to make an issue. And definitely, there are certain times when you had some friend when you had a gathering. How I wish we could all meet like that. It's an expression, a desire. See, there are two types of desires. One desire is a binding desire. Binding desire means unless I have that fulfilled, I am going to be distressed. There is another kind of desire. Fine, it was fine when it lasted. Would you like to go back? Let's ask each one of you your question, okay? And you privately send me your reply. I'll relate it to this verse. Don't put it on the public platform. Send it to me privately. What age, I give you the freedom today. I give you the freedom today to go back in time and fix an age where you would like to spend the rest of your life. Inbox, personally send. Send me to our WhatsApp group. In that WhatsApp group, don't put it in the WhatsApp. Send it to me personally. I'll give you a feedback on how this verse works for you. Okay? And be honest about it. What age would you like, given this opportunity, what age would you like to fix and how do you like, and that's forever. What age would you like to fix? So this is what Krishna says. This person does not resent the good times that have gone by and the bad times that have come. I want to say good time, bad time. Good times have gone. Now the situation has changed. Once in power, I was enjoying so many things. I'm no longer in power. I don't enjoy those things anymore. Okay, and then I don't long for those days when I had all the power. So there's no longing. No? It doesn't eat into you. It is, in Hindi, there's a beautiful word, teza, and a corrosive thing that takes away your happiness. It eats up your happiness. Sorry. So let's go to verse number 23. He says characteristics. How does he? What are the characteristics? Udasina vadasino गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव यो वतिष्ठति निंगते उदासीनवत् आसीन seated as though indifferent. Such a beautiful usage. Udasinavat asina. Hey, imagine, you are watching children play. You are seated and you watch all the park out here close by. You watch all the dinosaur there, giraffe there. There are children sitting there and jumping on there. You feel like going and sitting on the dinosaur? Are you not removed from the scene? Udasinavat. Not interested in sitting on that thing and playing. Udasinavat asinaha gunayoho na vichalyate is not shaken by these gunas. These gunas do not disturb you. They are there, let them be. Udasinavat asina. There are times when I'm cheerful, and there are times when I'm activity oriented. There are times when I'm critical, sarcastic as well. And when these things happen in the various roles that I play, I am seated as though indifferent. Udasinavat asina. I have stepped back, taken a step back from the role and look at the role objectively. In which case, the problems of the roles na vichalyate do not shake you. You are able to objectify the problems of the role as problems of the role, keep it confined there, and do what is required to be done. Udasinavat asina gunayor na vichalyate guna vartanta ityeva yo vatishtati nengate. A beautiful thing. Huh? Acha. What is the inner dialogue? How do you understand the situation? The play of the gunas make these roles function like this. They are the play of the gunas. The gunas manifest themselves in this role in this manner. My vision of myself, na ingate, I don't waver from my vision of myself. What is my vision? Actor. What is my vision? Ananda Swarupa. What's my vision? Brahman. Na tat. I am tat nishkalam Brahma. Nacha bhuta sangha. I am not shaken from the vision that I am that Brahman. And what happens around me is anatma. And what happens there does not move me away from the vision of myself. That means, that doesn't mean the roles don't have problems. The roles don't have sadness. The roles don't have challenges. The roles don't get socked on the. But when it happens, This person is udasinavat asina. Objectivity, inner leisure is never compromised. There is no muck loading onto the system. There is no regret, guilt, hurt, clouding my system. If they are there, they are who? I blow it up, blow it away. All of them do not run my life anymore. I'll put in silent. Yeah. So I am, it no longer runs my life. It doesn't run my life. I am objective to what happens in the roles. This is what he said. Udasinavat asina. So remember, I am as though indifferent. I am not indifferent. So the role demands that the father has to do something for the son. Udasinavat, the father is indifferent to what the son goes through. No. Udasinavat asina. As though indifferent, he is able to look at the father's role and his actions towards an object. This is what one is required to do. One need not yell and one does not lose the common peace of mind of both the parties. One can be objective. Even if the other party is yelling, I can tell the person, why are you getting so emotional? Can't you calm down? Can we not look at the whole thing a little objectively? Can we not talk about it a little later? That objectivity is never ever affected. Udasinavat asina. So let's look at the next verse, 24. समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रियाप्रियौ धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुति. Once more. समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चन तुल्यप्रियाप्रियौ धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्म samstuti. Okay, so Dhiraha, this wise man, sama dukkha sukha. He is not over the hill with joy. He is not overwhelmed by sorrow. He is balanced towards sukha and dukkha. That does not mean he does not have sukha or dukkha. He is objective to both sukha and dukkha. Okay? Sukha comes, he is good, I'm happy. God has blessed me. I'm happy, the draw is good, the draw is in my favor. Dukkham doesn't immediately go into that, hey, God doesn't even see me, God does not have eyes. I don't talk that language. Sama, sukha, dukkha, it also means pleasure and pain. There are situations in life when one has to go through a lot of pain. Physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, financial, all kinds of pain one has to go through. And also, so when the sukha comes, he's okay, he's happy to with that. We will not say, no, dukkha will come anytime. You have to understand it. The people do that when sukha comes, he'll say, no, dukkha can come anytime. So what is the point in enjoying? This fellow is called a cynical fellow. He enjoys when it comes. But when the bad times hit him, he is calm enough not to get disturbed. More importantly, not disturb others as well. It's okay not to get disturbed. A lot of people, they can't keep their motor mouth shut. Hey, how I was living, see what has happened. I trusted that fellow, this happened, that fellow, blah, 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 blah. So, sama dukkha Sukha, wise man. Swastha, he is abiding in Atmaswarupa. All reactions are from Atmaswarupa. Think and respond. Not act and think. Think and act. A response is called for. I am Atma. Role is playing. This quickly runs in the mind. You say, I think this is how we should tackle this situation. Perhaps you could consult some more people. But I think this situation should be tackled like this. There are younger, wiser people. Perhaps they will know have better solutions. Just a few days ago, somebody called. There was a link. They hit the link and a lot of money went out of the bank account. How foolish of me. Okay. How foolish of me, that expression is okay. But if you are going to dwell on that foolishness, then it's going to be a problem. If you are going to dwell on that foolishness, it's going to be a problem. What is the next step? Is there a complaint available? Can I take? Is there a course available? Legal recourse available? Can I file a complaint? Can I take some action? Can I be forewarned about this? These days, on every platform they say, this cannot happen, this cannot happen. Can I keep myself more informed? Is a wise man. Okay, then the next one. Sama Loshtashma Kanchana. He is saying with reference to a lump of earth, that is a stone or gold. Loshta Ashma Kanchana. He goes to a gold shop and buys gold and gives stone in exchange. He's a wise man. I'll give you a clod of earth in exchange. Is he a wise man? When I say, when we say Loshta Ashma Kanchana, I understand clearly their values in the transactional reality. I understand their value, I understand their utility, I understand their role in the transactional reality. But in the absolute reality, I look at all of them as artha, material. And material is finite. Any material whatsoever cannot give me permanent peace, security, happiness. I will use the material and grow, but I will not lean on the material for my emotional well-being. This is the meaning of this line. Sama Loshtashma Kanchana. Sama, all of them are same. So, going to a gold shop and offering to pay by stone is perhaps more intelligent. You buy stone, but if you're going to buy stone, don't you have to pay in gold these days? You want to construct a house and you want to buy stones. You have to pay in gold. You have to pay in gold. So their values are understood. I don't dismiss their value. I don't dismiss their utility. I don't dismiss the form. But I understand that all of them are anatma. Being anatma, they are not my srishti, they are Ishvara srishti. Being Ishvara srishti, I look at them reverentially. My whole attitude towards the world changes. I look at the world reverentially. I look at the usefulness of the world. I understand that even if I had all the things on this world, they would not give me permanent peace, security, and happiness. I am tempted to quote Mundokopanishad, Parikshalokan Karmachitan Brahmano Nirvedamayat Nasti Akrita Kritena. What I want in life, this cannot give me. This can give me elbow room. This can give me comfort. But what I want in life, Loshta Ashtma Kanchana, cannot give. That is the understanding. Samaloshtasma kanchana. Then tulya ninda atma samstuti. He is at peace towards ninda and stuti. Tulya, we said, let it possibly come in one or two chapters. Tulya ninda stuti. You are in the sense. See, when a people appreciate, it's fine. I like it, and especially the the more the false the glorification. This fellow is thrilled. All of us have seen. It's not that I have seen. All of us have seen. All of us have seen. Okay, and when the person is criticized, the person says everyone appreciates you, only criticize. You would have seen personal experience. Okay, somebody these days, people perform on stage, especially a lot of people sing. So then everybody claps. Fellows thrilled, and then he is given names like he is the what do you call living legend's name. He is the what do you call Chennai so and so. He is Chennai so and so. He is Coimbatore so and so. He is the walking so and so. A fellow is thrilled. Kya baat. Then one more performance, he sings. So suppose I tell him, at this point of time, you sang very well. But the emotion I wanted from this song is missing. Thereafter, he stops talking to me. And the social media writes all kinds of rubbish about him. Then what does he write? He is jealous of my success. And suppose I tell him, I said, kya bol? He said, sir, everybody is appreciating. You are the only fellow who is saying I'm not singing. So see? So Ninda hurts you, Stuti takes you up there. Now, if you are abiding in yourself, okay, very nice story. My Swamiji told me, it was fun listening to this story. I've told it in several times. You are walking on the street and somebody comes and says, okay, hey Rama, this person's name is Rama. He says, hey Rama, you are Rama, Kali Yuga Rama, and they fall at your feet and say, Rama, oh Rama. He says, yeah, what are you saying? I am not that Rama. Only my name is Rama. I am not that Rama. Okay? Now, then you meet another person. That person calls you by, by a name of a creature, asinine creature. Why do you get annoyed? When you know you are not Rama, you know you are not Rama. But why do you have a doubt that you are that asinine creature? But then there's a feeling that occasionally I behave like that. So when it comes to glorification, I readily accept. But when it comes to I'll have to switch on or switch off something. So when it comes to glorification, it's okay. But when it comes to criticism, not okay. So, Tulya, okay, Tulya, Ninda, Atma Samstuti, Tulya, Priya, Apriya. Things are going in your favor today. Okay? Today things are not going in my favor. Okay. See, at all points of time, if you see in the previous verse and in this verse, the teacher drives home one point. A person who is able to accommodate the gunas is able to look at the pairs of opposites that one comes across in life very objectively, which is the ultimate goal. Look at the pairs of opposites that come into your life objectively. When you are objective towards that, this inner leisure is always available. It's not overpowered. It is not clouded by doubts, by guilt. It's free and available for you to reflect. Reflect on what? What's my ultimate goal? And the jnanam will give me the ultimate goal. Steady abidance in either the knowledge or the means of knowledge. I'm either abiding in myself or I am abiding in the means that will help me abide in myself. So as we are in chapter 14, I will say, as you and I are seekers, we will abide in the means of knowledge. What is the means of knowledge? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. It gives me more space inside. Let's look at verse number 25. On the same lines. They're all on the same lines. Manapamanayor tulyaha tulyo mitrari pakshayoh sarvaramba parityagi gunatita sa uchyate. So this one says, Mana apamana tulyaha. Nindastuti comes from outside. The reaction is mana apamana. Somebody says, why did you let him insult you? He says, no, I don't let him insult me. He calls me a monkey, it's okay. But I don't accept the fact that I'm a monkey. Only if I accept the fact that I'm a monkey and fight with him, I'm insulted. So, Ninda Stuti is trigger. The reaction is mana apamana. When you give me stuti, atma stuti, I feel mana, meaning I feel recognized, I glow. And when you give me ninda, I am apamana, I feel humiliated, insulted. An insult I will never forgive. I might forgive, but I won't forget. It occupies valuable space inside. So much of space taken up inside. So tulya, mana apamana tulya. Then mitra aripaksho tulya. See, ari means enemy. Okay. So mitra, friend, ari tulya. We have to understand this carefully. When I say aripaksha tulya, it doesn't mean I'm foolhardy. Okay. I recognize an enemy as an enemy and take appropriate precaution. Because of not understanding this, historically, we have gone through a lot of problems. It goes through even today. Okay, somebody has misinterpreted it. Somebody has misinterpreted, and because of this misinterpretation, we are going through the problem today. We have to understand it. When I say mitra ari pakshatulyaha, I treat a friend as a friend, enemy as an enemy, without inner disturbance. An enemy, I require to take precaution. What's the precaution? Secure my boundaries. Yeah, and you know what happens is when, I want to say how many years back, 78 years ago, when we got our independence, there was one person who said, this one, he quoted this. Ari paksha tulyaha, you should wind up your army, you should not see anyone as enemy. Ye kya baat hai? You are forgetting Raja Dharma. Your house is there. They say, you know, trust in people, but tie your camel, they say. Trust everybody. Everybody is okay, but lock your car. So it is not saying, you know, foolhardy behavior. Hari pakshyatulyaha. Treat a friend as a friend. Treat an enemy as an enemy. Even friend, there are certain borders. Hey, friends. Friend ke liye hum jaan de denge. So what happens? There's a lot of, you know, somebody once said, giving and taking between friends affects friendship. Okay, it affects friendship if you treat a friend in a manner in a manner which is not keeping with financial transaction. There are some communities, you know, even between father and son, they follow. How much do you want? You go to Bada Babu, sign the document, take the money and go. He says, Father, it is your son. He said, that's okay. I perfectly understand. I'm not saying I will not give you. Take whatever you want. Let there be one fellow there, one Babu will be. He said, Babu will ask you to sign in some paper, take the money and go. Accounting ke vaste. So treat a friend as a friend, enemy as an enemy. Be objective towards both. Okay? And such a person who says Sarva Arambha Parityagi. This is a very beautiful word. We will extend it into the next week also. Sarva Arambha Parityagi. See, there is an inner agenda. The inner agenda, if it is towards Atma Jnana, fine. If the inner agenda is not towards Atma Jnana, understand that investment in such activity is not productive. That's all. Arambha Parityagi. That doesn't mean don't buy a house, don't seek a new job. Doesn't mean that. But investing in an agenda which you think will bring you glory, investing in an agenda, investing in certain areas for the sake of my overall convenience is fine. Unless I get this, I will not get this kind of recognition anywhere. We have somewhere the script bigger together. We will see this a little more in detail in our coming sessions. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनीं देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय भोले शंकर तुम्हारी जय सब संतों की जय स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती की जय we'll meet again next week. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, sir.
Om.
Thank you, sir.
Om Namah Shivaya.